Hello, welcome to a quick introduction of 360 Splat Pro. I'm going to run through some of the features that we've added to this tool, and just to give you a quick run through, you can watch the much more detailed videos if you want to get into everything that's going on there. So the tool is primarily aimed at new users and advanced users. So I've tried to make it as the GUI as accessible as possible, but also give you all the kind of power features that you'd like, and hopefully will extend the use of the tool beyond your first experiments. So the general GUI is extracted frames viewed here. You can double click on them if you wanted to look at them. You have previous projects, you have the ability to have multiple videos dragged onto here, and you can batch process them. We have an option here called multicam, and that's if you're using a camera rig recording at 3 different heights or something like that. You can drop both or 3-4 extracted videos. If multicam's on, then everything will be treated as a single alignment, and if you don't have it on, then essentially it treats it as 3 separate projects. The workflows are designed to sort of run from left to right. So we'll extract the frames, we mask them, we align them. Sometimes we'll split them if we need to, and then we will use external tools as well. We have the ability to save our workflows here, and there's lots prepared for lots of different user edge cases, and as that grows, this list can grow as well. And we also have external tools, and some of those have been saved here as well. So when you extract the frames, you have a sharp frames filter. You can auto analyze them, and you have this threshold slider, so you can see which particular frames you feel like you might need to change. And this one's quite interesting because essentially, as I come to each turn, I'm swinging the camera tripod around the monopod, and so that's giving me a little bit more blur on those particular frames. It will generate a report for you, and you can decide how many frames to search for either side of the one it's marked as blurry. And so sometimes you may be moving at pace, and you'll create a frame so far spatially from where you need it, it may be preferable to have the one that's closer. I tend to find 360 footage is a lot sharper than you would get with video or something like that. You can open a frame, you can open the folder. Everything is set to where you've extracted to. So basically you get a little sub project here, which is super useful, and it will automatically go to each of those. So I've tried to keep it as accessible to the data. Masking is run with SAM3, and I found it to be really, really good compared to the previous tool I've worked on. It's text-based, so you're basically just adding those in there. We've got presets. We can save those presets, which is super useful. We also have shape masks, and that way you could mask up just from the bottom, from the top. You've got custom masks, and you can have different shapes on them and stuff like that as well. You can open the masks folder as well, and so we have our AI masks, and we also have a paint set here. You can boost exposure, which is quite useful. In a few frames my backpack wasn't caught, and I didn't really want to run all the masking again, so you can see there's a few frames there. Just turn that exposure back down so you can see the wheel mass. You can change the size of that mask, you can delete it as well. Super fast to paint the masks, and then you can combine them all as well. Alignment is done in Sphere SFM. There's a bundled version with it, and we have various presets here as well. I found after a lot of testing and trying different things out, I've put in the best settings I found for 360 video, so hopefully you find those work for you. We have a really powerful feature here to generate the cube maps, but do it multi-threaded. So Sphere SFM is quite slow extracting those, and we can switch the old method if you want. But these two methods here are much faster, and we can do it post alignment as well. So you could go back, repaint your masks if you wanted them to be good, or better than what you had, or fix any errors, and then you can just generate cube maps, And the same thing, we can open Cubic here, and you'll end up with what you're familiar with adding into splatting software with your masks and a sparse point cloud. We then have a quite powerful system. So say if I just wanted to add in some training, I've done presets for brush, lift field. I would say you're probably going to need to tweak them and find your own. The software's changing so quickly that there are presets there, but I really would, see if they work for you, because I found different hardware, they won't necessarily work and those kind of things. So my particular card is a RTX 3080, and I think if you've got better than that, you may want to tweak those settings to work best for you. I think that's everything. Just to show you the result of this particular one. This is in PostShot, but it shows you the cube maps that have been split from the extracted frames. So the extracted frames are aligned, not cube maps. And this gives you a pretty good result, I found. If I just turn this on. So this is this sort of environment I captured here. I was walking along this little path, and I was really curious to see how much of this environment it would manage to align. But I think it's done a pretty nice job in this quite difficult environment to capture. So yeah, that's just a quick introduction to 360 Splat Pro. There are a lot of more in-depth videos, but I just wanted to quickly run through the main features.